Okay. All right. The recording is live. Okay. All right. Satoshi Street Bets, all of the lovely, lovely apes and degens here in the community and the Metahero army that has joined us here today. We've got Rob here from Metahero, along, like I said, with his wonderful following. We are here to talk about Metahero, which is a next-gen deflationary token coupled with Ultra HD meta scanning technology. There's just some big words for, the average ape. So Rob, please introduce yourself, introduce the project, and kind of break it down for us, as Slaya likes to say, apify it.
For sure. Thanks for the intro. Thanks to everybody who's here right now. So Metahero is kind of it's a manifestation of my sort of effort to bring about a more timely mass adoption of crypto. I spent a bunch of months kind of researching all the projects on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and I saw that nobody was really going after the non-crypto people, and I kind of mashed up all of the things that I was seeing at the time. I saw a lot of deflationary tokens, and I decided to couple that with a very close friend of mine's technology. I don't call him Polish Elon Musk anymore. His name is Mariusz Król, but his company had pioneered photogrammetry on a commercial kind of scale, and they had been their tech had been used by the cyberpunk. And so we decided to tokenize that and commercialize it along with a deflationary token, which we launched just over 2 months ago. And in that short period of time, we've managed to creep into the top 150 tokens in the world. And it might seem like a overnight success, but people need to realize that into all of this has gone my decade-long experience as an entrepreneur. I had built the fastest growing company in Europe, second fastest growing company in Europe called CodeWise, which I sold last year. And I put all of those funds into crypto, and that is how I was also able to self-fund Metahero. I put $10 million behind it out of my own pocket. And so yeah, it's a self-funded kind of an.
One sec though, because we can't just like speed past that and act like you just didn't say that.
He said it.
You put 10 million out of your own pocket into funding Metahero. You just said that. No, you were like, yeah, it took like 10 million. They just made it happen. You know what I mean? Like, wow, that shows commitment, Rob. Holy wow.
Well, that was my intent, to show the commitment. The other thing we did is we raised $3 million in private sales, and we permanently locked that up on PancakeSwap on the launch day, which is currently at I think $75 million. It's permanently locked. A lot of projects lock their liquidity for like a year, 2 or 3.
Oh, I think you cut out there right at the end.
Yeah, Rob, we can't hear you anymore.
Oh no, we lost Rob.
Oh no, what are we gonna do without Rob?
He's the only one. Normally that's where another team member's like, oh, I got it, don't worry. Oh, Rob.
Rob, if you can hear us, leave and come back. Blink twice.
Yeah, hey, I could hear you guys, but it cut me
out. Yeah, we're up at almost 800 people. They're
okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's all good.
So I was talking about the sort of my intent of showing people how serious I am. Like, this is the first project that I'm building in my life that's simply not about the money. I see crypto mass adoption as like a do or die. If we don't get this done, we're all going to be using government issued tokens, and we'll have no privacy left, no freedom. So I feel like this decade is all out war against centralized oppression, let's call it. And so I'm putting all that energy into Metahero, and that's the overlying sort of overarching mission, is to make sure that we live in a decentralized world where it's more equal and just more just a better place to be. So that's kind of the overarching mission. And so this technology, what it allows us to do is to scan people and put them into computer games. It allows us to create avatars allows us to scan every piece of artwork in the world and put it into the metaverse. And so it becomes like this literal portal and from the physical world into the digital. And I believe that, I'm already getting everyday messages from influencers and their managers looking to get them scanned. And we're talking to, for example, Logan Paul's management team, and you can only imagine like what would happen if we scanned someone who has 100 million followers. Like it's just gonna create this self-perpetuating marketing machine. We're very close to that because right now, actually, even right now at night, because where I'm at is 10 p.m. Wolf Digital World, which is the Metahero partner, who partnered up with Sony very recently. Sony is an official technological partner. They're working right now at night to finish engineering the V3 Metascanner, which we're going to be debuting in Dubai at the Future Blockchain Summit. And
Okay, you
tomorrow,
just dropped like 15 alphas right there in a row. I'm not sure if you're like aware of that or if this is just like so, this is so, nonchalant to you, but okay, like you just dropped Dubai, you just dropped the Sony partnership.
right?
Can we break those down a little bit for like I do like say?
Yeah,
Can you
for sure.
amplify that down? Let's hear it.
Yeah, and like the unveiling of the meta scanner, like come on, man. Yeah, you're making this juicy.
Right.
Yeah, and
So,
you're saying you have this technology that's like revolutionary technology, but like that's not even your goal. Your goal is to revolutionize the finance world. So yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, how do you engage non-crypto people? Because, most of it's very, very niche, like DeFi and all this stuff. Most people in the world will never give a crap about any of that. You need to engage them in a whole different way. So, one of the simplest use cases of our scanning technology is once you get scanned, the system will automatically pump out tens, if not hundreds, of animated 3D GIFs of yourself doing backflips or doing whatever that you can use on social media immediately. Yeah, I have an example. There's an example on our Twitter of me doing a backflip, which I cannot do in real life, but
I have
in
that.
the metaverse,
I'll get that posted out there.
Yeah, let's post that. That's so cool. Yeah, please. Yeah, let's post that up. So, so it's a 3D scan, right? So it scans you, and it's now created a 3D generation of you as a 3D model. And now, of course, it's a 3D model, so you can make it do whatever you want, right? You can put your, your head between your legs if you wanted, right? You know what I mean? So, okay.
Exactly.
I hear you. Wow.
Yeah,
Also,
and because
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and because Wolf already has partnerships with or history working with the likes of CD Projekt, who released Cyberpunk. So a good example is what Cyberpunk used this technology for is when you create a computer game to make the NPCs, the non-player characters, an artist typically has to spend around 600 hours to make a human-like, 3D model of a like an NPC representing a human. So what CD Projekt did is they took, I think, 200 of their employees and they scanned all of them, and they used these scanned employees as the in-game characters, saving 2 years of game development. So that's like a real use case of how this technology has been used already. But you can now imagine that when you scan yourself, you'll be able to port yourself into, say, GTA 6 and play as yourself with your friends. And when you make that avatar an NFT, game developers will be able to license your avatar and pay you a sum to use your avatar in other games. So you could potentially profit from, paying for a metascan and creating your avatar. That's kind of our goal, is to create a profit generating sort of ecosystem for people to have an incentive to scan themselves other than just using their avatars in the game. So
exactly, because
we're going to push NFTs to the limits.
I've always wanted to be able to run around in GTA as myself and, sell drugs and steal cars and, and like shoot hookers. Like that sounds like a blast, right? To be able to do it as myself, right? So no, that's cool. But like you said, the bigger incentive too, right, is there's income potential, right? Like if people are using the scan and stuff like that, that's really interesting. And like I'm on your website right now. And whoever, hasn't looked at it or wants to look at it, it's very simple, metahero.io. You've got a very clean, sexy website, my friend. I love it. There's no wonder you're at $1 billion market cap, right? So but I'm looking at the meta scanner right now. This image you have of it here, it looks, you know, like something out of Tron. It's super cool. So I see here quick assembly and disassembly, complete mobility with system of folding columns, 64 cameras. That's impressive.
So
So where
what
are
you're
these being
looking at is
set
the
up
old
at? Yeah.
one. So you're looking at the what we call the V1 scanner. It was actually built it was built 5 years ago almost, and the V3 scanner, which got the interest of Sony, is it has 200 cameras. So we just got a shipment of 200 of the newest cameras, all from the same production line. Because mind you, there cannot be any sort of discrepancy in the hardware. So it's been a hell of a feat getting these cameras in time to build our version 3 scanner. We're skipping version 2, kind of like iPhone did, going straight to version 3. It's gonna be like many years ahead of the last one, and in terms of size, it's 21 feet tall. This thing that we're going to be debuting in Dubai. You can imagine. So tomorrow, if you go to wdw.io, there's a countdown timer, and tonight at night we're filming part of the new scanner that we're going to be finally kind of publicly sharing tomorrow. I think the countdown timer is set for 4 p.m. Central European time. I'm not sure how much time is left, maybe 16 hours or so. But there's going to be
Wow.
200 cameras. This thing's 21 feet tall. It's placed on like a 3 foot tall glass platform, and it's an orb. And so the reasons for that is because the version 1 scanner, it couldn't scan your feet from the bottom. So that's why we built it on top of glass. So there's cameras underneath you, which allows the image, the 3D model to be captured without any sort of clipping of the floor, which a graphic artist in the past had to kind of cut out. So this is like ready to go, 3D scanning. And yeah, it's gonna be really mind bending. Sony's never didn't know something like that could exist using their cameras, so we're really excited to be partnering with them.
So
No, that's great.
you're using the Sony cameras, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, that's the initial kind of part of our partnership. We're looking to make it, a deeper relationship. But to start, they're just so impressed with what Wolf is doing with their hardware that they just want to be involved. And then,
Okay.
yeah,
So this technology also, this technology isn't new in and of itself. The 3D imaging, like I have friends in
no,
Hollywood that have been doing this, and they've been scanning Will Smith, and they've been out there during COVID, doing like they won a Grammy for doing this on the Kendrick Lamar music video. So the technology isn't new, but what you guys are doing is clearly revolutionary. So can you give us some insight into like what separates you from, those people that are like already out there doing the technology, and why
sure.
you're so ahead of the game?
Yeah, so what I what we're doing that's very unique is A, we tokenized the whole thing, and B, we're commercializing it. So what you're talking about, yeah, there's a bunch of
Mhm.
scanners in Hollywood, but nobody's doing it commercially so that you can go off the street, pay $200 and get your scan.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we're looking to build. Our plan is pretty ambitious. We're looking to build 24 of these version 3 scanners next year. You can do the math. 24 times 200 cameras. Like it's a crap load of cameras that we're gonna have to get our hands on. But we think it's doable, and we're gonna place these all over the world. And each scanner can quite comfortably scan around 100,000 people a year, which puts that number well over 2 million people. So, just imagine that in every country we scan, say, the top 100 influencers or celebrities or whatnot. Everybody will know what Metahero is, and probably everybody will want to have their own scan at some point. And let's not overlook what I said earlier. Like we really are also after scanning works of art and really anything physical that can be ported into the metaverse, because one of our goals as well is to create the largest 3D database of scanned objects in the world that can be dragged and dropped into games, into movies, and that type of thing. That's another thing that's in our kind of in our pipeline.
Wow. Wow. No, that's certainly That's no understatement there. And that kind of leads me into another question I wanted to ask. You said you want to have these. I wanted to ask it before you mentioned that, so that kind of answers a portion of it. But you said you want to have these, all over the world in different places. That's like my next question is, where do I go to one of these scanners? What is it like, like CVS? I walk in, get a flu shot and a Metahero scan, or is this,
Soon.
at, you know what I mean? Like where are they located at? Where would I be able to find one? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, so the first ones we're going to be placing in Asia, likely Tokyo and Seoul in South Korea, and then we're going to take it from there, kind of basing on interest. But yeah, it'll be in. We're looking to kind of conquer Asia. We see that as the forefront of crypto right now, and then we'll take it from there.
And you mentioned Dubai, so you guys
and Dubai,
yep.
We're flying it down to Dubai for the Future Blockchain Summit. There's going to be around 150,000 people there. If you go on the Future Blockchain Summit website, which is futureblockchainsummit.com, I think they've like featured us as their main attraction right now.
Yeah, Rob is featured next to Akon. If you go on that website, it's Akon and Rob.
Oh, big old celeb Rob. Don't forget about us, okay? Don't forget about us. All right?
For sure. And
Dr. Crypto would like a Metahero scan.
Yeah, for sure, brother. No worries. We'll scan all you guys. But so the thing that's really worth mentioning is the utility of the hero token. So all of the transactions within our ecosystem, from getting the scan to getting, your royalties paid for your avatar, for purchasing our 3D NFTs and all that, they will all be transacted exclusively in the hero token. So although we have, Wolf Digital World, which is building the hardware, and then there's Metahero, which is the token and all the marketing, it is one project when kind of you look at it from outside, but it's two separate entities. But in the whole ecosystem, you will only ever be able to transact in Hero, and that's what I think makes it, the utility just very obvious.
Yeah, exactly. The paying in Metahero, the buying the machines in Metahero, anyone being able to go in to get scanned. The way that I was coming to understand this, and kind of gets back to Dr. Crypto's question, is where does this happen? It can happen anywhere. Like, so people that have seen those, they're like storefronts where you can go in and they have like little rooms where you can do like little TikToks or take little like Instagram pictures. It's like Metahero can have, the possibilities are endless. Metahero can have a storefront like that where anyone can just walk in and get scanned. And I think that's the main difference between what you guys are doing and what the Hollywood scanners are doing, because the Hollywood scanners, they're only scanning Will Smiths, but Metahero is like anyone's going to be able to get scanned, and they're bringing it to the masses. And I think that makes all the difference. And that's what's so bullish here.
Yeah, exactly. And I noticed too on the website, like pre-order Metahero 3D chamber, right? Payable only with Hero, right? And you guys talk about like complete mobility. Is there some kind of almost like an affiliate or kind of, like a franchise opportunity available for people like me as an entrepreneur? Could I say, hey, Rob, I want to buy one of your Hero 3D scanners, your Metahero chamber, and I want to go buy a building downtown and put it in its own building and run a Metahero scanning store. Is that something?
Yeah, so that was initially part of our white paper. At this point, the first 24 scanners we're going to be building, they'll be managed exclusively by Wolf, but we want to make smaller, more mobile scanners that can be purchased by people such as yourself. The big one is just it weighs like a few tons, and it's just not really practical for I suppose a franchise model. But we do want to make ones that could be placed in fashion outlets where you can scan yourself in your underwear and literally try on clothes that will fit you perfectly. So
that's a really cool idea.
I like that. So you make your avatar, and then your avatar you don't have to go shopping ever. You can put the clothes on your avatar. That I love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool.
Thank you. That saves me a bunch of trips to the store, which I don't really want to do. So
yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to do that. So
No, I love it. I think so. I think that really kind of expresses just how much utility is in here. I mean, it's not, of course we understand it's not just a token, right? But the token is the operating asset, right? That's what's powering
Yeah.
all of this, right? I see here payable only with Hero. So when people order these 3D chambers, they have to pay in the token. That's another, buying pressure, right? Like added to the token, like people wanting to hold and use the token. Utility, only Hero can be used to transact in our ecosystem for the real world utility. So really what I'm getting at here is what people are investing in Metahero. And I've said this a lot when it comes to like tokens that are like real projects with real utility. But like, damn, brother, like your utility's here. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, it already works. You've already scanned yourself. So this truly is a project with utility. I don't even like saying the word project. Like, it makes it sound like this is something that like you're working on in like 4th grade. You know what I mean? Like, this is awesome. So, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, your token is just the operating asset of this amazing business and industry that you've created now.
Yeah, exactly. And other than that, just tokenizing a business these days, it allows you to kind of skip over dealing with the VCs who typically don't really have the same interest as the founders. So we're in a very luxurious position. As I mentioned, I backed up Hero, the whole project with 10 million out of my own pocket, and I did that with pleasure. I'll put in another 10 million if I need to, because this is my kind of life's mission right now. But you get to skip dealing with the VCs who are not always pleasant to deal with, and kind of raise capital yourself, which is an amazing thing to experience as an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
And
you know what
so
else you omitting the VCs is when you're the one putting your money in and you're not relying on VCs, then you don't deal with the VCs dumping on you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You kind of work on your own terms as well, and you get to be nimble. So that kind of leads me to, like, people asking, like, who, if there's any competition. Sure, there may be down the line, but with a technological partner like Sony, they make the best cameras in the world. So they're likely not to partner up with anyone else to make any sort of 3D photogrammetric scanners. And just the speed that we move with, our community can vouch probably for that. I think we broke a world record for being listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap for less than 24 hours after launching PancakeSwap. So we know how to like pull the strings to make things happen quickly, and that's kind of just how. I don't know how to execute in any other way than kind of rapid fire. So that's just how we kind of roll.
Well, I think the proof is kind of in the pudding there too. You want to talk about like setting records or breaking milestones when it comes to like market cap and stuff. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to think how many BSC tokens have actually surpassed 1 billion market cap. We of course we know SafeMoon, we know that Baby Doge did it, and past 1 billion market cap. I know. I mean, what other tokens? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it only those 3?
I don't actually know, but I don't think it's that difficult to build a token that has over $1 billion market cap, but to keep it over 1 billion or to exceed 10 billion, then you
Yeah.
really actually have to have a business model. You have to have something real other than just you know tokenomics. So although we borrowed our tokenomics, let's say, from the likes of SafeMoon with the burn and auto liquidity, I also know that with that kind of tokenomics, no tier one exchange in the world will touch your token. So we've also designed it so that at the right moment we can remove that and just leave it as a base, a normal utility token with no fee. So we can list on the Binances and the Huobi's and all of that. That's
Yeah.
something that a SafeMoon will never be able to do. I don't think people realize that they're listed, on the Bitmart and Whitebit or whatnot, but they'll never be listed on any of the top exchanges because of their
Tokenomics. Yeah.
tokenomics. Exactly.
Hmm.
So, I'm always looking long term. So, although we had the tokenomics in the beginning, and thanks to the tokenomics, we have now $75 million of liquidity, and it will just continue to grow. But we're also
That's
able to
so
remove it,
huge.
which opens all the doors for us, because we tick all the boxes for Binance, especially utility. So I think it's a matter of time before we end up on there.
Yeah, and like you said,
Yeah,
you can adjust your taxes and essentially remove it, you know?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
I think the community is foreseeing that. Absolutely. I've heard a lot of talk about finance and that you guys are checking the boxes and people are noticing that. And yeah, that hasn't gone unnoticed. And you know, what you're doing too is you're giving such a good name to the BSC space. So I just have to mention that, like, on behalf of all the BSC degens, like, thank you for doing that, you know? Thank you for launching on BSC. Thank you for putting your trust in BSC, because so many
Yeah.
people are not doing that or just seeing it as rugs. And you launching this kind of real project on BSC and then where it's going to go from there, you're really actually giving such a good name to the BSC space. So yeah, I just want to mention that as
Oh, I'm
well.
happy to.
And thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm happy to do so. For me, it was an obvious choice. You know, after dealing with Uniswap and then trying out PancakeSwap, I was like, oh wow, this is an actual pleasure to like transact on. And then seeing just how many users there are on BSC, and plus just wanting to make it as inclusive as possible for the investor as $10 to the investor that has $10,000. But the great thing is you can launch on BSC very quickly, very easily. You get a lot of traction. There's a lot of people with BNB ready to invest, and then you can bridge to the Solanas, to Near, to
Yeah,
whatever
that was
other
my next
blockchain you want.
question was
Mhm.
bridging. Are you planning on
Yeah.
bridging to ETH or to Polygon or to any other blockchains as well? I mean, you've obviously been incredibly successful on Binance Smart Chain, and I
Yeah.
definitely agree with Slaya on, like, thank you for releasing a good project with a solid use case and a solid team on BSC. I've been saying it forever, like, if the BSC doesn't start cranking out good projects, it's all just going to kind of fade away. Like, no one's ever going to take the
Mm.
blockchain seriously. So I'm so happy something like this got its roots here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
what are
think
your
about,
plans for Bridge?
oh,
Yeah. So, depending on how things go with Binance, we also have the avenue of the upcoming FTX. I think that's the only serious exchange in the world that can challenge Binance in the medium to the long term. They're obviously heavily vested into Solana, so that would be an obvious choice. So here's the thing, like, imagine that our meta scanners, we partner up with a Binance or an FTX, and they have their logo plastered all over the scanners on the physical hardware. That would be the most incredible gateway for them to acquire new users onto their exchanges. So I think we have a lot of cards up our sleeve to negotiate with the top exchanges in the world to kind of, yeah, to really position ourselves as their funnel of new users to come into the crypto space. So yeah, it's going to be exciting times ahead, especially after Dubai. Once the management of Binance gets scanned or whatnot, it'll be much easier to talk about these types of things with them.
yeah, and I wanted to bring it back to your name, Metahero. Like, it kind of skips back to the question we were just talking about before, but like, where'd the name come from? And then also it's like you kind of are the hero here of the meta. You're the metaverse hero. So is that where the name came from, or where
Um,
did the name? Because that's what it means to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, metaverse hero. I was looking initially at hero.io. I have a background in domaining and affiliate marketing, but it was like a $300,000 for it. So I was like, it's a little generic as well. So I just was brainstorming with Jonas from Tencent, and we both came up with Metahero, and the domain was free. So I was like, okay, we'll save $300,000, and this name sounds dope. So it just kind of we struck a chord and stuck with it.
Oh, I love
Is
the name. It kind of like what how I see it, right? Like, I think it's always interesting, right? Like, branding and development for a brand, how individuals view it. Like, Slaya made a good point on how she sees it, right? How, like, I see it is, I like view like meta hero, right? Like, it's the metaverse, and
Yeah,
then hero is almost like another word for avatar in like a video game,
exactly.
right? So it's your avatar in the metaverse is how I like interpret it. But it's a cool name. Huh, you got that right.
Yeah, and I just love the hero token, the idea of the token being called hero, and it just all fits together perfectly. So I'm really pleased.
exactly. It really does fit together perfectly. That's what I was saying. It's such a perfect fit. I have a question from someone. They were asking about your Sony partnership, and so
Hmm.
beyond using the Sony cameras, do you guys have any intentions, or have you guys talked, or if you can share or not? I understand if you can't, but using those avatars in products like Sony PlayStation, etc., stuff like that.
So kind of like what you mentioned, I'm not in a position to disclose much more than has been already, but the interest that Sony has taken in the technology that Wolf Digital World has built is really strong. And as we near Dubai, there'll be a lot more information in regards to that as the time kind of goes on. So I suggest to everybody listening, just hold on with us to Dubai. If you could make it out to Dubai, that would be the best thing. Just see this thing physically, with your own eyes. I think that's a really unique proposition of our project, is that you get to invest in a token that you can actually come and see and experience the technology that you're investing in, the vision that you're investing in. I think people are a little bit tired of investing in promises and pixels and just hopium and all that. We're bringing in, the real deal, this tangible hardware that you can come and see and experience. So, yeah, just stick with us, and you will learn about, the depth of our partnership with Sony.
Yeah. Well, don't let me do the alpha drop. um, so someone is also asking you, Rob, about the theme patent. Does that mean anything to you?
The what? Sorry.
I actually don't know what they're talking about, but they said the theme patent. The theme patent? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're just talking about any patents that we have on the hardware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
please.
Maybe.
Yeah, please
Yeah,
indulge
do you
us
have
on
any?
that, right? I don't
Yeah.
say it cool like you do with Peyton, I guess. I just say patent because I'm from the
I
South.
used to say
But
patent, and then I heard Peyton. I'm like, oh, that sounds cooler, so I stuck with that.
It does
But
sound cooler. And also, like in college, I remember like all the cool professors would always say words differently. So I like that
yeah,
Rob's doing that. Like, just take
yeah,
the word and say it however you want. It makes
e-
you
e-
sound way cooler. So let's
exactly. Like
talk
I'm
about
not
the
British, but I love saying aluminium, right? I don't like to say
patents.
aluminum. I love saying aluminium because it sounds so much cooler.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what do you got going on with your patents, Rob?
with the patent, so Wolf Digital World. So for anyone that knows anything about patents, it's a double-edged sword, because once you patent a technology, it's up for grabs by nations that don't necessarily respect international patents, such as China has a kind of a reputation for that. So there's a good reason why Wolf never patented their technology, but I can get kind of, as long as it's in their own control, then they have a huge advantage, because it's almost impossible to clone what they've done. So to give you kind of an idea of what it took to get the version 1 scanner to work the way it does properly, they had to tinker with different alloys of metal to make the wiring that connected the cameras, to lower the latency of the image being sent to the server, because it was causing like ghosting, I think it's called, or like shadows, weird shadows from the scans. So there's a lot of like tinkering that's been going on in the last 5 years to get it to where it's at, and that is why they don't want to disclose all of that in neat packages of patent. And as long as they control the technology, they control the competitive edge of that. So that's kind of how it sums up.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's glad to know that you're, working on protecting this, right? Don't want
Yeah.
people, don't want all the I mean, I say competition, but really, like that's a good next question too. Like, what is your competition? This looks some pretty next gen breakthrough tech. I don't just see these everywhere. I don't hear about this. Like, do you have any competition in the market right now?
I mean, like Slaya said, there are photogrammetric scanners in Hollywood. They're used in
Mm-hmm.
different sort of areas of video and photo production. But as far as we know, nobody's commercialized it, and
Yeah.
nobody is built anything close to the version 3 that we're going to be demoing part of. We're going to be kind of giving a sneak peek into that tomorrow, of what it looks like. It's just so otherworldly. It's truly like a gigantic portal into the metaverse. And having been in the version 1 myself, having been scanned a few times, it really is the most extraordinary technological experience I've ever had on Earth. Um, it feels like it's the future and that you're being ported somewhere. So, not only being an incredible like piece of technology, but it's just an incredible experience
Yeah.
for anyone to have the
And I'm
opportunity to do
assuming you
it.
don't, feel anything when you're being scanned, right? It's just cameras taking pictures of you, but like I
Yeah, we
guess it's
haven't we
just
haven't implemented any levitation or anything like that yet, but maybe in the version 10.
just
No,
just
so
treat it like a ride at Disney World, put the misters in the fans. Just yeah,
Exactly.
I love it.
yeah, you could air levitate people if you get the air coming up from the bottom like hard enough. You could definitely
Exactly.
air levitate people. So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, really, the possibilities are so unbelievably endless. If someone like me that didn't even think of this project can keep coming up with crazy ideas, like
Yeah.
anyone can keep coming up with crazy ideas for this. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, so like you said, yeah, I have the people in Hollywood. That is the main difference, because I actually have a personal good friend of mine, two of them, who they're, like I said, they're the ones who built the scanner. I'm not sure exactly how many cameras theirs have, but they're not commercializing it because they didn't do what Rob did. They didn't put $10 million of their own money into it. So therefore it's not a business. It's not commercial. And yeah, that is the difference. I mean, besides you cryptifying it and bringing it to the masses and changing our financial system and just being a hero that you are.
I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a hell of an undertaking, and I'm blessed to have a partner such as Polish Elon Mariusz Król. He's a freaking genius. Like, he's the kind of guy that when he starts speaking to you, you start sweating just from listening because it's so intensely intelligent that you're just in awe of his mind. So, yeah, that's the kind of guy I'm working with. Like, technically, I'm rather inept. I'm a great marketer, and I like taking risks and doing bold things, but we really complement each other, and that's why I really believe this will work.
No, you got to have the team. One of my favorite things, teamwork makes the dream work, right? You have to have a good team
Exactly.
to put stuff together. And speaking about marketing, it's a great entry into the next question, because we see everything here. We see all this badass stuff. We see, you're talking about partnerships with Sony, and that's marketing in its own. But as you
Hmm.
know, you are a token on the Binance Smart Chain space, and all the apes and degens, they always like to know, when marketing, sir, when marketing,
Uh,
right? What
well,
marketing? So tell us, what do you got going
sure.
on that front?
So I'll take a step back and touch upon the company that I sold last year that I was building for 10 years. It was a company called Codewise, and it was actually an advertising technology company. We had 250 people working on some very, very smart technology that determined who to show the right ad at what time. So that's my whole kind of bread and butter. It's from advertising technology, and we haven't even started let's say turning on those machines that will put Metahero in front of every single eyeballs that every pair of eyeballs that would be interested. So the unique thing about Metahero is that although it's a crypto project, the physical nature of it allows us to advertise where other crypto projects are not allowed to. I believe even on Facebook we would be able to. So we've had, I think, around 300,000 people visit our website, and so all of those people are already tagged and ready to be retargeted. That's one thing. And another thing is we already have people on the ground in Korea. We're now building teams in Japan and in China. That was actually one of the reasons for our rapid growth, is that we had a very experienced crypto team doing very good work in South Korea and making Hero one of the better known altcoins. And we plan to replicate that success in Japan and China. And as you know, those three markets are three of the top ones in the world. So we're
Especially
doing
for
a lot of,
something like this, like they're gonna
yeah.
they're gonna eat this up. Like, this is
Oh,
right
yeah.
down the Japanese Chinese alley. Like, and two, the markets, like marketing, in those, like, I'm assuming, have you guys done like B talk ads or anything like that too? Like marketing to those communities. Oh my goodness. It's so
Yeah.
much
I
buying
mean,
power. Yeah.
exactly. We really haven't we haven't started our marketing like fully yet. So it's I've been waiting for the right time because I didn't feel until the physical debut of the V3 scanner takes place, I didn't feel we're in a position to kind of market too hard, because at the end of the day, it's just words and Twitter tweets and all that. Once we get to physically show this thing to the whole world, the
That's all it
conversation will just
takes.
change. Yeah, it completely changes, especially in Dubai, where they have trillions of dollars of oil money. Like, another thing about Mariusz from Wolf Digital World, he's very well connected, and he recently signed a huge deal with the government of Qatar to be their exclusive provider of 3D printing and 3D scanning services. And yeah, the government of Qatar has a $1 trillion sovereign fund, which they're looking to kind of invest into different things. So there's just so much money out in the world. And we're tapping into, I think, the Middle Eastern and the Asian sort of sources of that. And I think once they see the scanner in Dubai, the caliber of investor will change overnight, from let's say the degens, the early guys, the early heroes, and to the more serious kind of VC type of people, and institutional investors. And once they start coming in, I think things will pick up pretty quickly.
So can I ask you one of a more challenging type question?
Sure.
I guess, what are your biggest hurdles? What do you see as, Metahero's biggest hurdles to success? Are there any? I mean, you guys already kind of are a monster success, but yeah, what hurdles do you see in the future that you might need to overcome?
Sure. So I would say one simple hurdle that's simple to explain is, if we're going to be building 24 scanners next year, that's 24 times 200 cameras off the same production line. And because of COVID, production has gone down, or manufacturing has kind of dipped. So we'll have to figure out how to make that work with Sony. So that's one thing. The other thing is data privacy. So Wolf has hired an army of lawyers to start working on figuring out the legal infrastructure for us to be able to build a system that can safely store all of that data in huge quantities. And that's quite a big piece of pie to bite off, but it's definitely doable. So I don't really see any like road blockers, just some challenges that we'll overcome. And I believe, like, once the types of Binance join us, a lot of doors that we might not even know exist will open. So I think Dubai will be the kind of the pinnacle of where we need to go. Because you can write a white paper before you launch a project, but until you bring it to market and you don't get the feedback of the people and all that, you really don't know what you're doing. So you're kind of like just feeling out and adapting all the time, and that's what we're doing. So the whole vision could very well change a little bit after Dubai, after we see how people react to everything. But that's what we're good at,
That's
adapting and
actually
being nimble.
It's actually an amazing answer, because that is the mindset of a true visionary and a true successful entrepreneur. Is there are no roadblocks and there's only opportunities. And so your answer and the way you answered that was so beautiful. I mean, that's just really how it has to be looked at. Like, anything that you come across, it's just an opportunity to solve it. There's no problems. There's only solution. Like I said, I've been in Hollywood for a long time. I've been in the music industry. When you're in the music studio, and something isn't working, it can be the most frustrating thing ever. And one of my mentors, the biggest lesson he ever taught me was, there's no problems. There's only solutions. And that's basically what I just heard you say.
Yeah, you need to have that mindset. Otherwise, you'll get crushed very quickly and you'll burn out. It's you have to treat it like a game. Like, I quite often tweet. I used to be a really hardcore gamer. I used to be a nerd. I played Counter-Strike all the time, some
Dude, me too.
MMORPGs.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too. You just became
yeah.
my friend.
My brother and I even had a professional Counter-Strike team, and we might bring it back and call them the heroes. That would be a cool marketing thing.
Oh, I
But
dig it. I'll have to come play with you guys. Yeah.
yeah, there you go, man. But with the gaming mindset, you kind of treat this whole money thing as a resource. You kind of distance yourself emotionally from it, and it makes it a lot easier. Um, and like you said, Slaya, you challenges are just, they're just problems to be solved. There's always a way to do it. Like there's millions of ways to solve a single problem. It's just all about the mindset. And if you can maintain that mindset, then you're really unstoppable. You have to be crazy enough to think you can do anything. And that's essentially the secret sauce.
That is the secret sauce. You have to be crazy enough to think you can do anything. You have to be crazy. And that's why Rob has the Rob Army, because Rob I mean, one of the many reasons, but we'll say it's because you're crazy in the best way possible, but you're crazy in the way that a visionary has to be. Crazy enough to throw down $10 million of your own money to change the financial world, to save us all from utter ruin. Metahero.
Well, it's the truth though. I think Alice, right, from Alice in Wonderland said it best, right? Why sometimes I've believed in as many things as 6 impossible things before breakfast, right? Don't let impossible be what stops you. And I mean, I won't lie, $10 million can help get a lot of things done too, right? Like that's what's funny is Slaya knows I love to ask this question and talk about like what is your ultimate goal, like your end goal, like if you had no roadblocks for the project, where do you want to see the project? Where do you want to be if you had unlimited resource of money, team, potential, supplies? It kind of seems like a lot of that's lined up for you, right? So we would love to take questions from the community, but I would love to hear that final thing from you. Like,
sure,
what is your
so
ultimate end goal for the project? If you had another 10 million, maybe you do, to slap it down, what would you do with it?
So here's what I do. I'd be looking to place around 1,000 scanners throughout the world. We build into the app a very easy way to buy hero tokens so that anyone who's never bought crypto could easily do it. We're actually working on something like that right now. And just removing all the barriers to entry, and then partnering up with the biggest influencers and celebrities in every single country, getting them scanned for free, just getting them to film a scanner, themselves being scanned in the scanner is an incredible content for a YouTuber. I think, they'd probably do it for free. And just getting all the young people and all the kids and all their followers and subscribers to just get to witness that the future is unfolding, right in front of their eyes. And I think we want to be, not the like kind of the stop for people entering crypto. We want to be the gateway. We want them to like kind of get a taste of crypto in a very easy and engaging manner. And whether it's being scanned or buying an NFT or co-owning an NFT, and then going down the rabbit hole and seeing that there's this world that is, this technology that's ready to fix the money and fix the world in that order. And that would be it. That's my humble vision.
That's a fantastic vision and a fantastic answer. It doesn't sound far-fetched. It sounds very reasonable. And you've honestly, I mean, you have all the capability to achieve that. You've already shown it, and the unveiling in Dubai will be the coup de grace, right? So
Exactly.
I can't wait to see it, man. So now let's open it up to the community here. We've got a bunch of hands raised. We love community questions.
Yeah, we love community questions, and they've been raising their hands this whole time.
Yeah.
So we did not notice you, even though my screen keeps going blank because we're completely breaking Telegram. Oh, there, it popped back up. All right.
Yep.
Who's been
So I'll
waiting the longest?
Yeah, it's tough to tell. I'll just grab someone at random.
Okay.
Tiago Tillican. Oh gosh, it's so hard to click on your name.
I
Tiago.
like that name, Tiago.
Yeah, your mic is live, Tiago. What do you have for Rob? And if we unmute you, you just need to mute and unmute your mic. There you go. Oh, Tiago, it was just on.
See, I don't even see a Tiago. Where?
Yeah, it just came on. We might have to take another question, or maybe
let's go with Wellington. Wellington Rodriguez.
Wellington Rodriguez. Wellington, my friend, you are here. What do you have for us?
You might have to unmute him. I'm trying.
I did. Yeah, he's unmuted now. There he is. Wellington.
Sorry. Are you guys listening to me? I think it's okay now.
Yeah, we can hear
First of
you.
all, cheers from Brazil. And Rob, I read your history in your website. I love it. But my first question is about what is the biggest future from Metahero in South America or even North America? What is your plans for that?
Hey, Valentin. So there's no current plans. We're really truly focusing on Asia, and we'll see how things go there. And before South America, I believe we tap into like New York and Los Angeles and the big sort of cities in the US. But once we see how things go in Asia, the plan for the rest of the world will quickly unfold. But I just it's too early for me to be kind of saying we have plans for South America because we simply don't at this point.
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
worries. Hey, he's honest and he keeps it straight, professional and transparent, right? All right, Vishnu. Oh, hold on. Dagon telegrams all over the place now. Um, okay, all my hand raises just switched. Sorry about that. Everybody right there. Vishnu, your mic is unmuted now. You are live on the air with SSB and Rob. Take it away.
Okay.
I'm on holder from the day one, and I've seen all your videos in your YouTube channel, and it is awesome. The project is awesome, and the
Thank
project
you.
project has been delivering as expected till now itself. So, what are the plans after Dubai, Rob? Is there any can you give any high level things?
Um, man, I wish I could tell you because there's a very exciting thing happening right after Dubai. I can
Yes,
tell
can
you
can you
this, that right after Dubai, we're packing up the Metascanner and we're shipping it off somewhere to Asia. But I cannot say more than that. But yeah, things are going to go very, very quickly after Dubai. I promise that. Other than the fact that the physically engineers in Poland have to construct these scanners, I think we're in a position to build 24 in 2022. And for building, hardware of that caliber and placing it all over the world, it's ambitious, but I believe we have everything needed to make that happen. So I would recommend just coming to Dubai and seeing what happens after.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
like it.
Thanks. Thanks,
Yeah,
Rob.
no
Awesome.
problem.
That's going to cause some FOMO, Rob. He says, I can't say too much, but all I can say is after Dubai, we're
Nah,
packing up the scanner and
it's
we're
hard for me.
sending it somewhere. I know. You gotta. Hey, that's just what being a professional is about, right? You can't spill all the beans at once. I love it. Tobias, your mic is now live, my friend. You have the floor. Ask a question and take it away.
Hi, how are you, my friend? Hi, Hobby. My name
Hey,
is
brother.
Tobias. I'm from Brazil. And in Brazil, we love Metahero, bro. Love, okay? I have a question. Sorry, I don't speak very well English, okay?
No, you're doing great.
But what prevision, the pricing Metahero coin in December, please. December.
Oh, you're talking about price prediction. Hey,
Yep,
well,
in December.
Yeah, in December.
I'm as the project's kind of owner founder, I'm not in the position to be throwing numbers around. But look, we're at 10 cents now, and we started at what was it, one 15 hundredths of a cent. You know, you can you can kind of draw the conclusions yourself. I'm not about the price because I don't even look at it on a daily basis. But if you zoom out. I tweeted this recently that there's thousands of tokens, hundreds of exchanges, like tens of blockchains, but there's only one Metahero. We don't have any competition. So I think the risk to reward for investors is so incredibly huge because if we get to do what we're planning to do, the metaverse will be a multi-trillion-dollar industry in the next 5 to 10 years, I believe, and we will be literally the portal from the real world into the metaverse. And if we get this done, before Apple, Google, and Amazon, all those people, it just puts us in the best position possible. And again, I reiterate that the hero token will be the only token that will be used in our whole ecosystem. So the sky really is the limit. If what we're doing works, there's no limit to the price of the token. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, and I understand where Rob is coming from with that. And you know, like he said, right, as you know, the owner of the company, the founder, he can't really make a bold price prediction like that, and I wouldn't either, because I like to view myself as a professional. But he said it well, and I would like to kind of maybe hit on it again, and that is, there's really no competition. So go and maybe evaluate yourself what kind of, you know, the market caps of the industries, right, in the gaming industry and the tech industry, that Metahero is looking to capitalize on, right? Take a small percentage of that market cap and say, okay, well, if this industry is worth, you know, $50 billion and Metahero can capitalize on just, you know, 2 billion of that 50 billion, what could that do to the market cap? It's already over $1 billion. So really look at the capitalization through the entire ecosystem that Metahero is tapping into. And I think that's a good way to draw where you think the market cap might be. I hope that answered that for you, my friend. We're going to take some more questions here. Exacto, your mic is unmuted. You have the floor, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much, my friends.
No
I
problem.
am a Brazilian here.
All right.
Woo woo.
Hello.
We love it. Yes,
Okay,
Exacto.
can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yep,
awesome.
go right ahead.
So, hello, Robert. Cześć, Robert.
Hey,
So,
what's up?
I was about to ask, what will you do for the Binance listing? Like you said previously, you probably will have to disable the fee and the burn. Will you do like buyback and burn later, or will you disable it for good?
Well, once we disable the fee, it will be disabled forever, and we will start thinking about another way to implement deflation, be it, you know, a percentage of the revenue that comes in, it'll just go to burn, or some other mechanism. But as you can imagine, the overarching priority would be to be listed on a tier 1 exchange. I think anyone would choose that over a fee. And consider, you know, when we remove the fee, because it is a question of when, everybody will benefit ultimately, because you'll be able to, if you choose to sell your hero without the 5% tax, and we would be doing some sort of airdrop of the rewards to everybody, so you would actually have all those tokens in your wallet. So you'd probably end up with having a like 7% bonus, anyone who holds hero. But yeah, in terms of deflation, we definitely be looking to figure something out, but it's simply not a priority at this time. The priority would be to get a tier 1 listing and then figuring it out after.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Great answer, Rob.
Yeah,
And
great answer.
Joseph, your mic is now live as well. You have the floor, my friend. Please ask your question.
Okay, really, thank you. So, Rob, I am also a hero from Brazil. Cheers from me. Okay. So I was wondering, because right now we are facing some bad news about Bitcoin. Okay, so some people did say something and others think the other way. But what I'm trying to ask you is what you think about the next year. Maybe we can face a winter in the crypto market, and we know that when we are in the summer, the things only goes higher. Even the persons don't really want really not want, but love the project like I'm loving. So what do you think about this winter? Because you know the adoption can decrease, but even the projects going well.
Well, you know, whenever you start thinking about that type of thing, I always suggest to zoom out, take a more macro perspective. You know, whether we want it to or not, cryptocurrencies will replace fiat in one way or another. The question is, will it be, you know, the government issued centralized CBDCs or decentralized, Bitcoin and all the other tokens that will be the main kind of the main money in the future. So I suggest zooming out. I always, whenever I look at a chart of Hero or any other token, I'll usually use a 12-hour, what do you call it? Not the 5-minute ones, but the 12-hour view. So you can kind of see just the whole picture from the very beginning to where it's at now. And then you don't really notice those swings. So if you look at Bitcoin and you zoom out to like a 1-day view or something that could show you the trajectory over the last 10 years, it kind of like humbles you and makes you realize that everything that's happening on a sort of daily or weekly or monthly basis is just noise. There's a lot of fear out in the world, and everybody has their own story in regards to money. So there's no way to predict what's going to happen, but we just have to keep on fighting, man. And one way to fight, the simplest way to fight, is just to hodl everything you have and believe in it. So that's why I'm trying to build something that it makes it a little bit easier to follow, because there's physical hardware that stands behind the whole thing that you can come and see and experience. And we're just going to keep moving forward, whether or not there's a winter. It doesn't really concern me. And that's, I think, the only thing you can do is just keep moving forward.
I think that's a great answer and well spoken. On that note, just to segue, I have a question from an audience member who is, my DMs are blowing up, by the way, right here. And it's like I can barely even type. But the question is, you spoke of hodling. I'm a Metahero hodler myself. I honestly, this is something that I don't want to touch. I'm not swing trading it, I'll be honest, because I'm too scared if I sell a top, and that being a top, and it comes back down, that I won't have the confidence or whatever to put my full back investment back in, and I will end up crying. So I'm with the hodl Metahero team. And on that note, someone said that you mentioned rewards for holders who have never sold once. Is that something that's happening?
Well, I was considering at some point, I was planning to launch another token, and I was trying to figure out how I could reward hodlers who never sold. And I come to realize that my focus is, I've experienced this in the past building businesses. When you try to do too many things at once, you dilute your greatest currency, which is your attention and your focus. So I decided against that. I need to focus.
How about just an NFT? What about if you've never sold once, you get a free scan?
I mean, that's something we could definitely do, but it's yeah.
I'm just saying, I want an avatar. I haven't sold once, so yeah.
Yeah. Right now, there's nothing planned.
Okay,
so I apologize if some tweet
No,
from
you
the past
don't owe
was
us.
teasing that.
Honestly, you don't owe us that. You investing your 10 million and getting us all to where we've gotten is I'm not saying it's enough, but you don't owe us that. That was just a question.
I appreciate it. Well, look, I can tell you that we'll be doing everything in our power, and that is a lot because we're very experienced entrepreneurs, to get this to where it can go in terms of its potential. Like, this is the most exciting thing I've ever worked on in my life. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like a mission, like a life mission. Like my whole 34 years of existence have led to this point. So,
right,
I
and your
don't see
company
it.
that you sold before it got you here too. Yeah,
exactly. So
it's really beautiful. People are asking for Metahero merch. Do you have any plans for Metahero merch?
Well, Jeremiah, if you're listening, well, you got to get on that. That's we definitely want to do something like that, but we've just been so focused on getting everything ready for Dubai that we'll definitely. Oh yeah, we do have T-shirts for Dubai. So if you get your booty over to Dubai, there's a possibility of getting a Metahero T-shirt.
Gosh, well now I just want to go to Dubai just for the T-shirt.
People are ready to walk around being walking advertisements, so they want the merch. And it has a lot more to do with just the vision. People are ready to stand by the vision, and people are ready to say, I'm part of this movement. I'm part of this vision of like, I just keep going back to basically, which was your first statement, which was, you know, this wasn't about the money. This is about changing our financial system, which anyone in crypto at this point, I mean, besides maybe the people that join, I mean, in the last like few months, like that's what it's always been, you know, this has always been like, we see this as the future. We see this as changing our financial system and taking the power back. And you're doing that in so many ways. So it's, I can't say that enough. I just liked keep going back to what you initially said about that, about,
Appreciate it.
you know, it not even being, I mean, you took it away from even being about the scanner itself, which is like, okay, the first thing you didn't say was we're a scanner. Like that was just so interesting. The first thing you said is, you know what I'm saying? The first thing you said is, oh, we're talking about bringing people into crypto that otherwise wouldn't be able to get into crypto. And from that being a scanner to, oh, this is actually our mission. That's just really interesting, you know? So
That's good to
that
hear. I
being
appreciate
said,
that.
yeah, no, I appreciate you. That being said, we have a lot more questions from the audience
Yeah,
here.
I just had a DM. Yeah, my DMs too, Slaya, are lots of questions and like, ooh, pick me, pick me. Crypto Costa, I saw your ooh, pick me, pick me. You are unmuted now, my friend. You have the floor. You said you have a good question, so don't let me down. What do you have for us? Crypto Costa, you're good to go.
No pressure, just better be a good
Yeah.
one.
Yep, we can hear
Hi,
you.
Rob.
Hey, what's up?
First of all, the biggest fan. I've been here for like 4 years, and I owe you so much that you don't even realize. Like I moved to another country and I created this YouTube channel, and yeah, I'm the biggest fan.
That's awesome.
And my first question is, what do you recommend? Like, I remember so many videos like from the jungle and stuff like this, and what do you recommend right now for young people that want to come into crypto and you know, just to achieve the financial freedom? Like we're not talking about the like billions, but just financial freedom to, you know, live the fullest of life.
Oh, man, well, look, it's pretty simple. Just, you know, have some patience and some, you know, be humble entering the space. Know that you know almost nothing. Like I still almost know nothing about crypto, but enough to start building and learn at a very accelerated pace. But just learn everything that you can learn. I would recommend trying to, you know, get involved in projects that are just starting out, and get a maybe early allocation in that, but not obsessing over that as well. But mainly just learning and becoming an expert so you could educate other people. I think that's the best way to learn, is when you try to teach others, because that's when you really realize how little you know. It's easy to kind of arrange something in your own mind, but to articulate it to another human being that knows nothing about the subject, I think when you can do that, like get your family and your friends on board, because that's the way to mass adoption. Like if everyone who has any tokens right now went out and got another 10 people, we'd be at like 2 billion, you know, people having crypto. So I think that's the way forward, is getting to a point where you realize that this is something that has to happen and you feel it as your mission, and you go out of your way to help others, and in that way you also help yourself. That's what I'd probably say to you.
You just really do that again. You just said you just did the I know nothing thing, which is like what the real enlightened people, I mean, you just keep the gems are, you keep dropping these gems that are like profound gems, you know, they're like, no, the biggest thing I know right now is that I know nothing. The biggest thing I know right now is that I have so much more to learn. It's like, again, you're just so impressive with your mindset that you really do have that successful visionary mindset, and also an enlightened one, which is a really great
I think we shouldn't compare to Rob. If he says that he knows nothing, like what do we know, right?
He knows enough. The point is, he knows enough to say he knows nothing, which ultimately means that he knows.
And Rob, also, like sorry, like another question I gotta ask, like you create those projects. I know you don't do it for the money, but where's the end of this? You know, with creating all those new projects and everything, like when it comes to money and things like this. When you like, where's the point where you finally retire and just, you know, just stop doing those things?
Look, it's a great question because I already thought last year that I was done with everything and retired. But once I went fully into the crypto rabbit hole, I felt that I have an obligation to utilize my experience and my abilities to do my part for crypto mass adoption. Because in my brain, in my world perspective, this technology is the only one that can save mankind from ultimate, like, utter destruction. I really believe that. And I think, I'm going to just drop this, but I think cryptocurrencies plus the legalization of psychedelics will be the renaissance of mankind. And we have an opportunity in the next 10 years to really just kind of flip the collective mindset of the global consciousness in the right direction. Because we have the tools to do it. It's just, you have to pick up your weight, as Jordan Peterson says, pick up your damn cross and carry it. And that's the kind of key to a fulfilling life, feeling that you're really doing your part and not just kind of coasting through life. So I don't know. I think it'll become obvious when my time is done.
Yeah,
I
and then
hope
you
one of your
also
future games is. I hope one of your
Sorry, go ahead.
future gems is gonna be connected to psilocybin or something like this. This may be good.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Well, okay.
There's no limits, right? All right,
there's
that's
no
it for
limit.
my questions, and thank you so much.
Thank you for
Yeah,
your
and
awesome question.
I hope to see you in Dubai. Maybe we can do some interview because I'm going
Cool,
there as
man.
well.
Speaking
Cool.
of Dubai,
Thank-
people are asking if to get scanned in Dubai, they need to have. I know that to get scanned, you do need to buy the Metahero tokens, but I think they're specifically saying in Dubai, is that also the case?
So in Dubai, we're building a system where you'll be able to book a time slot for a scan and pay in several different cryptos that we will then exchange for Hero and put into our company reserve to keep things simple at this point.
Okay, awesome answer.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
then, and I just had a DM. I just unmuted him. Mr. JB Wild. He says, really interested in talking to Rob, day one holder, and
Cool.
I'm not going to give it away, but let's just say he says he's got a juicy wallet. So we would love to hear from one of your VIP investors. JB Wild, take it away, my friend.
Hi there, guys. Thank you very much for unmuting me. Really appreciate this. Good to speak to you as well, Rob. This is an incredible project. Can't emphasize enough how excited I am for this. I've got loads of my friends at home, loads of my work colleagues all involved in this. Even those who never heard of crypto before, they've all got really excited by this. So I've got a few questions regarding the implementation of the of the scanners. Now, obviously, 200 cameras, 24 scanners. That's a lot of cameras and a lot of scanners. How are you planning to roll these out? Have you got an estimated, for example, cost, and how is that going to be? How's that going to be afforded? Essentially, I know you're obviously a wealthy man, but it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a great question. I cannot quite disclose the exact cost because that kind of gives away the discount that we get from our technological partner. But it is in each scanner is in the millions of dollars. But the way that we're gonna be financing this, and Sony was actually asking Wolf Digital World how the hell they're gonna buy thousands of cameras. But we have a lot of OTC interest to buy Hero, and what we will likely be doing after Dubai is just getting some larger institutional investors that are looking to lock tokens for many years to buy OTC and to fund that initiative to start building those scanners. And yeah, I mean, it's already happening. So that's it really. And there's a lot of people who reach out to me and they just want to help out financially because they really feel that Metahero it could be a real player in terms of getting non-crypto people into crypto. Just as you said, JB, it was quite easy to get your friends in because it's quite easy to explain the concept of what Metahero is doing and what it offers to gamers or social media users and the likes. So it's easy to explain to people to get their interest to invest. So I don't think it'll be problem to get, you know, the money needed to build those scanners, because there's more money in the world than investors know what to do with. I mean, that's the truth. They just have nothing to invest in. And I think Hero is a pretty damn juicy morsel, so I don't see any issues there.
Yeah, maybe I can get this one to be my mom's first pancake swap gem, because I haven't
Oh,
gotten.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because like you just said, like this is that worthy, and it's, you know, I've already gotten my mom to ape into um her altcoins, which is really exciting. But she hasn't pancake swapped yet. But I'm thinking now, after your answer that you just answered, I think this could be the first one. I have
Awesome.
one other question. One other question from the DMs. They're asking about the Wolf Digital partnership, and if you can get into that quickly a little more. Like, we obviously see what you bring to them. I guess their question is, what does Wolf bring to you? Or maybe they're asking it the other way around. But what are you guys
Yeah,
bringing to each other in the partnership?
for sure. So we're both, you know, we're two separate legal entities, but we're both exclusive to each other. So what that means is, you know, any scanners that Wolf builds, they're only for Metahero, and the Hero token is the exclusive token that will be used in to transact within the ecosystem that we're mutually building. There's a very good reason for this, and it's because, you know, Sony will not work with a crypto company. It's just too unregulated, and it'll never happen, you know, in the next few years until it stabilizes. So the partnership is between Sony and Wolf
And
Digital
Wolf.
World,
Oh,
and yeah, and we are, you know, we have the same goal, but we're just two different companies. I'm a partner of Wolf Digital World, to be clear, and Mariusz, who's the owner of Wolf Group, is a partner in Metahero. So, you know, it's for a business person, you know, two separate legal entities, but it's just one project with one goal, and it just makes things simple to work with
actually,
the
that's
likes
a
of.
perfect answer, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, well, I mean, we are certainly running out of time here, but there's so many good community questions, so we want to try to get a few
I
more
guess
in real
let's ask
fast.
Rob, how much more time do you have for questions so we can kind of gauge?
I would like to take maybe the last one. It's pretty much past my bedtime. I'm an early riser, so maybe let's pick one more question, and
Got it.
let's
All
let's
right.
wrap it up.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I have someone here. And for those of you who have DM'd me asking me to get in and ask a question, I apologize. There were so many good ones. I just kind of had to pick randomly. Alexandre, let's see here. Let me find your mic here. There's just so many questions. It's hard to manage all of this,
Oh,
guys. So we're trying
also,
to
I
bring
just
you
want to
in.
say I think we will be doing, if barring any changes, there will be a text AMA. So all of these people who didn't get their questions answered in this section, since we're moving on to the last question, send us your questions. We'll save them and we'll try to get them in at the text AMA if we can.
Yep.
And let's
And
let's move on then. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. I'm trying to find your hand to raise it, Alexandria. Or would you rather me just ask the question because you typed it to me? Would that be easier? Because I cannot see your hand
Go.
to
Yeah, you should just
accept
ask
it.
it.
Yeah, I'll just ask it. Okay, perfect. So, so he asked, or she, I don't really know, what happens if Wolf Digital gets bought by Facebook, Apple, Amazon? What would happen to our token and Metahero at that point?
Ah, that's an interesting question. Well, you know, we don't believe that we would sell out in that way. Um, it's just not even something we've considered at this point, to be honest. You caught me off guard, but you know, I don't deny that they will likely be interested at some point. But hopefully by that time, you know, crypto will be regulated enough that it comes bundled as a package. But it'll be so intertwined by that point. You know, there'll be the NFT marketplace. There'll be so much already going on that I don't know. I think perhaps the way out of that would be to license the technology to them and continue our operations as is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a tricky question to kind of
Yeah, and I think
figure
that's one
out
of like the
how
biggest
that
things in the questions. They kind of mentioned it again. They were like, I understand that, but would anything ever happen to like the token, right? They said very, I guess I won't give the name, but they said it. They said, what happens to my $100,000 that I've got in Metahero right now?
Well, I mean, look, ultimately, and this would be, well, the liquidity is permanently locked, so there will always be a way to liquidate your assets, and that's something that I really needed to hammer in because I didn't see any project that had permanently locked liquidity. So that should give all investors a certain sense of security, but there is no plan to sell to a Facebook or an Apple, but perhaps there's a way to further partner with the likes of Sony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Thus increasing the value, right? Of everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you answered that fantastic, Rob. And I definitely think that is a great question to wrap up this amazing AMA on. It has been an hour and a half. And I like to think in this hour and a half, we have got a lot of good questions thrown at you. And you have given us some amazing answers. For those of you who don't know, go visit metahero.io. That is where you can learn everything about the project. It is amazing. They're looking to break through not just crypto technology, but 3D scanning technology with the Meta scanner. It's really cool stuff. Please, if you have any future questions, I think we just talked about, we're going to be probably having a text AMA or something with updates. So save your questions, send them to Rob. You guys have your community as well in Telegram. I'm sure they're happy to answer questions also. Is there anything else, Rob? One last thing you would like to leave all of us with before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I would just recommend, other than checking out metahero.io, going to wdw.io, where you'll see a countdown timer to what I believe will now be around 16 hours. And in 16 hours time, Wolf Digital World will be revealing the first kind of sneak peek of the version 3 Metascanner. They're filming all night tonight to get that in time for everybody. So I recommend following them on Twitter, and we'll obviously be reposting it on our social platforms of Metahero. But you can expect tomorrow to get the first glimpse of what I like to think will be the future.
Beautiful. And that is wdw.com?
.io.
.io. Got it. .io. And WDW. That's easy to roll off the tongue there. .io. Go check it out. The countdown timer for the grand reveal of the Metascanner, right? Like he said, if you want to join him in Dubai, go right ahead. They're going to reveal it out there. Rob, it has been a pleasure speaking with you and learning all about Metahero. I am sure all of the listens that this AMA recording will get, especially with, I think we peaked at over 960 some people in here listening live. This should be an amazing bit for people to listen to. It was fun. It was entertaining. You, sir, are a true professional. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah,
this
absolutely.
was a blast.
Thank you.
This was such a blast.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, Rob. You are amazing.
Thank you,
We all
Slayer.
love you.
Really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Well, all right. We are going to now end the recording. Rob, thank you so much. We look forward to watching the project grow and hearing more from you.
Thanks again, guys. Take it easy.
Have
Thank
some
you.
Guys,
smooth
let Rob sleep. We need our CEO to be rested.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Go rest up. Talk to you soon. Bye.